Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the 146th episode of Twisted Strands. My name is Jeannie, but you can call me JD, or vice versa. Doesn't matter to me. Anyway, about that cold sheep thing, I not only jumped off the bandwagon, but I kind of threw myself off with wild abandon. Two of my shops, my local yarn stores, are closing, and that's a sad thing and a good thing at the same time, because I found some good yarns at good prices. Sorry. Anyway, let me show you some stuff that I bought, and it's not even all of it, because I don't know where some of it went. Might still be downstairs, who the frick knows. Anyway, this is all of the stuff that I ended up getting from Accents on Knits. Not my favorite store, but they really do have yarn. Lots of it, and now that they're getting out of the business, mostly they are selling a lot of it. So I thought, in some wise words from Paula of the Knitting Pipeline, I know she doesn't like my show, that's fine by me, but she is a very smart woman, and she knows her stuff, and she said on one of her podcasts, if you like yarn, buy enough to make a garment. She said specifically sweater, but hey, why not a tank top or a vest? So anyway, I went to their sale room, and I bought a bunch of this. Several of the black gray, it's a charcoaly gray, out of Cotton Classic 2, from Taki. It's a wonderful, soft, heavy cotton. I believe it's worsted weight. Yep, worsted. And it is cable plied, so very nice stuff. I bought enough for a tank top. And that's this bag. And then when I found this, I've been looking for this actually, for a mom's sweater so that I can knit her one. I'm going to make morning coffee out of this wonderful Barocco comfort. This was one of the yarns that I was going to make exceptions for on the Going Cold sheet, and I found these less than $50, which is less than retail, of course, and hey, clearly all one dye lot, so yay. And then this was the splurge. This is Noro Curara. And I know I probably pronounced that wrong, but anyway, here it is. Isn't that a gorgeous color? This was like 50% off retail nearly. So, yeah. Back to day 2 of Cold Sheep. I'm really not doing well with this, am I? The cold sheeping. The cold sheeping is not going well. I'm gonna have to get better at that. Yeah, would you like to buy a bridge? Anyway, back on the horse. Let's just say that. And oh, and I do have a new project bag, courtesy of my friend Cindy. She picked this up for me. It has, and I can't really tell who made it. But anyway, it's this adorable bag. Isn't it wonderful? I love that. Little kitties everywhere. But unfortunately no tag. But I'm not really a brand person anyway, so I love it. It's so cute, and it's a good size for a project bag. So I was very happy when she gave me that. That was really sweet of her. And speaking of bags, I finished mine kind of came out really uber small. The tutorial I used on Myrtle's website doesn't quite give you a good idea of how big to make your bag. So this is my finished bag. I attached it, the handle, turned it inside out, and finished it, and it's got little pull tabs on both sides, and a handle, and it's no seams on the inside, of which is something I'm very proud of. So no seams, just dancing skeletons. Unfortunately, it is so small because I'm such a sewing new person. Even though I've done a bunch of projects, I still feel like there's so much for me to learn, and that's not a bad thing. I am pleased that I finished the project without making it a grand fuck up, but I feel silly for how small it came out in the end. But gotta admit, it doesn't look bad, except for the wedding couple that's got its head cut off. Yes, their heads are completely severed. Oh, well, you can see the groove there. There he is. But anyway, yes, not a masterpiece, but I'm sure it's big enough to hold something. And I'll be making bigger ones. I'll do experiments and shit like that. Oh, I got his head here. Anyway. First ever box bag. Seamless on the inside and out. Pull tabs don't look like they'll fall off, even though they're a little crooked. And it's a little too small, but yay! First successful sewing project of the year. Go me. And I also finished something else this week. I finally finished my loop bag. So that's pretty cool, right? I got about 169 wraps around my 60-inch Nitty Naughty. And let me see. Oh, if I can show you all the beautiful colors. See, it goes from violet to ultramarine to darker to black. So it's really beautiful. I have no idea how thick it is, but it's got some sparkle to it, which is awesome, and it's very soft. I'm sure it has way too much twist. Hi, Cleo. Wanna come in? Come on. Cleo's trying to get in. Either that or she wants to play with my yarn. Despite of how zealous I am at protecting it. And her from it. No, that's a dirty knee-high. She just picked up a dirty knee-high and in her mouth and shook it. Now she's disgusted at the state of my room, as I'm sure you are. So sorry about that. Let's move on to projects now. I've shown you projects that are already done. The rest of my things, the whips, are all knitting. No crochet this week, I'm afraid. And my sweater has gotten so big that I now use my general knitting project to carry it around. I don't think I've gotten very far. As a matter of fact, I might not have worked on it at all. There it is. I don't think I really worked on it all that much. I'll show you what I have been working on other than spinning and sewing. I've been working on Kagi's hat that she designed, the sleep hat for men. I actually had to go out and buy a size. Hi, Cleo. You want to be on the show? Probably not. She just wants a little attention. Anyway, so here it is. I'm almost to the end. That's how big it's going to be. And she's actually put the pattern online, so now you can find it and cast it on. It's a free pattern. So that's my hat. And I shouldn't even bother to show you the sock because I haven't touched it. Cleo. Yeah, not impressed. Anyway. I did do a tiny bit of spinning on this, but mostly I've been obsessed with finishing the spinning of the loop bat. So I'm really happy that's off the wheel. Yay, it's finally done. Now I gotta wash and whack it and hope it's not so twisty. I did make some mistakes while chain plying it, and it's got a few points where one single got a little bit away from the yarn, and that's unfortunate, but you know, shit happens. It won't even show when I knit it up, I think. I hope. And I really like how it turned out. So, happy yarn. Lots of happy yarn this week. And that's it for knitting and spinning and sewing. That's what my life has been completely devoured by, other than other silly things. So there you have that. Let's get on. Ooh, goodness, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's go on to stuff and junk. There is a bunch of stuff and junk too. Now, I forgot to mention that I saw The Great Gatsby, the version that is most recent and has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. And I know I've said this before. I'm always disappointed when a movie strays so far from the book, and this was like, holy crap. So anyway, I wasn't pleased with how far it strayed. You might as well just call it Leonardo DiCaprio, the sad rich man, and his writer friend. Don't call it The Great Gatsby. The special effects were pretty. It was a pretty film. I'm glad I didn't pay any damn money to see it, though. That's all I gotta say about it. It's meh. As far as plot and everything. So, watch it for the visual beauty, and you won't be disappointed. I'd give it about 2 skeins. Kinda meh. And then I watched The Cars That Ate Paris. It's this really campy movie, and it takes place in Australia or New Zealand. I'm not sure. And there's talk of pioneers and stuff. So, and there's cars, lots of cars. Sorry, I'm trying not to yawn. I should have recorded earlier. I'm sorry, kids. I wanted to finish my sewing project just for you. That's really what it was. I'm like, I want to show something finished. So, anyway. Oh, and it's so fucking warm in the house. Ugh. I was thinking it was gonna rain, but it didn't. And now it's just hot and kind of muggy. And I'm making the desk shake. I'm sorry. So anyway, I watched The Cars That Ate Paris, and I quite liked it. I'd give it at least 3 skeins. I mean, it's not perfection. Clearly, there's some plot holes that you can drive a car through, but it was a interesting movie to watch, and the acting was a bit funny and awkward, but people are awkward and funny sometimes. So, and the ending was so worth it. I liked the ending a lot. So I'm not gonna bust the ending for you, so anyway, I recommend it. If you're into the Twilight Zone, you'll really like this movie. So those are two things that I've watched. Basically some Castle, some World's Dumbest, and that's it. That's all I managed to get watching, and I was listening to the F Plus podcast, the Naughty Girls podcast, and Just One More Row. So those were some podcasts that I listened to as I knit along on my hat. I'm determined to finish it this week. I want to give it to the charity. And the charity I usually donate things to is Emily's Hats for Hope. They take hats, scarves, and hand things like mittens or gloves, or probably even fingerless mitts. So feel free to look them up. Maybe I should. I'll put a link to them, and so you can check them out for yourself. It's run by a girl and her mother, and they're very sweet people, and they do a lot for the homeless and working poor of New Jersey, and they have people all around the world that have broken off from the group and done their own work for keeping the poor warm. We can't give them all houses for some damn reason, so at least something. So there we go. That's my charity of choice when it comes to hats. And the hell else am I doing? Oh yes, what the hey? Oh my god, I was so late to my lesson on Saturday morning. I woke up like 15 minutes too late, and I got there 5-10 minutes after the class began, and that is just devastating. I'm amazed that they let me ride on Saturday morning, but they did. The young lady gave me Toby, my man, and so we walked, and Libby, the instructor, said, "I'm surprised they gave you a horse," and I said, "So am I. Is it alright if I come in?" And she let me in, and we rode, and we got to do a few different things. We did trotting as a group, and it was pretty successful. Toby was very good at working at the trot with me that day. He wasn't stubborn or anything. But, then we did separate cantering. And when we did the separate cantering, the first time was awesome. And then the next 2 or 3 times he was an absolute jerk. He refused to break into a canter and just tried to trot really fast to the end of the line. I wasn't having any of that. So we were circling around at the canter or trot, whatever we were doing at that time. So he was such a jerk. And then a time or two he got the wrong lead, which makes it, like I said last time, very unbalanced and a bit uncomfortable, and my butt was out of the saddle. Not in a bad way. Well, it's always a bad way. But I was up. There was inches between me and the saddle, and I should have been able to sit to it. And maybe next time I'll be able to concentrate a little more and glue my butt to the saddle during the canter, no matter how rocky it gets. So anyway, he was a jerk. during the last times I cantered him, but all in all, it was a good ride. And I'm trying to practice my half halts. So maybe I can watch a YouTube video or some shit like that. So there it is. Oh, and another stuff and jug thing that's fun. Oh, I'm sorry, but the magazine I bought is over there. Weird New Jersey is a very fun magazine that is a written word journal, I guess, of all the weird crap that takes place in and around New Jersey. And I've been a collector of the magazine for quite some time, and I love it. And I've met the founders of the magazine a few times now, and they were at my local Barnes & Noble. So I went, and there they were in the music department. They were set up, and they showed a short video about a very old insane asylum, psychiatry hospital, and it's called Greystone, and people are trying to preserve the beautiful old building that is Greystone. It's a whole complex of buildings, but I think they're trying to save the main building. They're trying to save it from demolition. So they had this lovely film about it. You know, they said, we're trying to save the building, yada yada. So, and there was a dude there who was the president of the association Save Greystone. Please note, I'm such a dork, I almost keep saying Grayskull, but it's not Grayskull from He-Man of the Universe. It's Greystone. And I actually live right by it, so, and I know how important it is to remember the past. So I appreciate that cause. So I watched the video, and I got my magazine signed, and I haven't even looked at it. I've been too interested in a Rowan magazine I got on sale, and the latest issue of Interweave Knits. And that has a few cute tops in it. I highly recommend that issue. But yeah, so I got to get out a few times this week. Went on a yarn crawl with my friends, and we spent way too damn much money on yarn, but it was really fun. I mean, yarn shopping is fun anyway, but yarn shopping with friends is even more fun. Because it never hurts to be able to turn to your friend and say, I'm worth it, right? Because you're always worth it. Don't go into debt for it, but you're always worth it. So, that's why it's fun. Anyway, my voice is getting croaky. It's getting late, and I still have some chores to do, so I'm going to sign off for now. And don't forget my favorite quote: no matter what you're making with your hands and eyes and whatever, from the most crude finger painting to the next Mona Lisa, you are making the world a more beautiful place, and for that I thank you. So anyway, have a great week, and I will be talking at you next week. Bye everybody.